Welcome to the Riverview. My name is Irene.
My name is Mary.
My name is Joy.
And I'm Marlene. We are live from Schlegel's Tropical Hideaway. This afternoon we have a poem given to us by one of our good friends here at the residence. Irene, would you start, please?
The poem is entitled Good Health. There's nothing the matter with me. I'm as healthy as can be. I have arthritis in both my knees, and when I talk with a wheeze. My pulse is weak, and my blood is thin. But I'm awfully well for the shape I'm in.
Arch supports I have for my feet, or I wouldn't be able to walk the street. Sleep is denied, we might, night after night. My memory is fading, my head's in a spin, but I'm awfully well for the state I'm in.
The moral is this, as my tale unfolds, that for you and me, who are growing old, it's better to say I'm fine with a grin than to let folks know the shape we're in.
How do I know that my youth is spent? Well, my get up and go just got up and went. But I really don't mind when I think with a grin of all the grand places my get up has been. And that brings me to a little special thing I was just thinking about when my get up has been, about a place that my husband and I did visit one time. And it was for our 25th wedding anniversary. Our friends and our family gave us an anniversary party and presented us with airline tickets and all the necessary things that went with it, a trip to Holland. And the reason, it was always a dream of mine to go to Holland ever since I was 6 years old. My father was killed in the war. He was buried actually first in Germany, and then the bodies were moved into Holland, into Groesbeek, which is in Nijmegen. And it was always my dream to be like other families and visit their family in a cemetery. Seems kind of a strange anniversary trip, but it was really like a dream come true. Of course, when Bob and I were in Holland, we also visited into Belgium and Germany, and then over into England as well. So it was quite an anniversary trip, and it's been in my memory and my mind all these years. And my family and friends, that was really something. Even my classroom, my grade 2 class that year at Christmas time, gave me Dutch money. As instead of little gifts that the children always gave their teachers, they gave me Dutch money to go on this trip. So they shared in my special trip too.
I wonder it wasn't counterfeit.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, that's great.
So maybe some of you would like to share trips that you have experienced with either yourself or with your family.
Oh gosh, I don't know, we had a lot of great trips really. I know we went to the Holy Land, that was a long time ago, about 50 years ago. But we went with the pastor from our church and Trinity United, Jerry Hostel, and it was great. It was all planned for us, and before we left, we paid for it, and it was all planned for everything that we did, like our flights and where we stayed when we were there, what hotel we stayed at, and our meals and everything. It was one of the greatest experiences, and even was allowed to swim in the Dead Sea, and that's the sea that when you swim in there, you just stay like this and you don't sink.
Yeah.
And it's great, and it was great. It was a great experience, and the memories are great. Yeah.
Did you, like, when you came back from that trip, did you share that with your church members then too?
Oh yes, well it was a church group that went with us to see and a minister from our church. Yes. So it was great. And then we traveled with Norman G. and Jerry after that on all their trips to Russia, all over, and that was another great time.
Well, I know anyone that has a trip to the Holy Land really, it stays with them for a long time.
Yes,
The
yes,
memories
it was
of that
great.
trip.
Yeah, great.
Does anyone else have a trip to share with us?
Well, I've had a lot of trips, but the one I enjoyed most was my trip to see the Kentucky Derby, which comes around in May. My sister and her family lived in Lexington, Kentucky, and the Derby's in Louisville.
Oh yeah.
So off we went to Louisville to see the Derby, and you wouldn't believe the people that are there. And they have, you can see all the women with their big fancy hats walking up and down in the runway, and all the ones that have the box seats, the money people, see them, and then you see the horses around, you know, just training around, and then they have, when the race starts, there's about 15 horses, I guess, in the race, and the first, about the 7th horse would be the one running in the derby, and so when they call them to get to their gate, you know, and they start out, well, you should see them really, those horses really go. And the one time I was at the race, and one just got to almost the finish line when a fell, broke a leg. And they have an ambulance come there for it and that. But then when they got the winner, the next one would be the first. So anyway, they put the bed of roses on the horse, and it's just so nice. And when they sing that old, my old Kentucky home, I think there's not a dry eye there. And
So what's the date of that? Is that running? That's running
it's
every
in
year.
May. I think it's around the 17th.
Well, that sounds like a good trip for the four of us to go on.
Yeah, nice. I'm for it.
I'm for it.
Yeah. And so anyway, my nephew's wife worked at Calumet Farms, which is a well-known farm there. And she was on a tour through the farm. And you should see the farm there for the horses.
I bet.
They have a swimming pool. They have a maternity hospital, the big statue of Man of War there. And in fact, the Queen has a horse there. And her horse was called Black Tower.
Oh.
And
Oh, that's very, very interesting. Well, I think that'd make a nice trip for us.
Oh, yes.
So
I have these.
yes, you have some nice pictures to share. But pretty hard to see, I would think.
Yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
But it sure shows the crowds that are there, that's for sure.
Maybe I didn't tell them about the panic.
Irene, do you have a trip that you'd like to share with us?
I would like to share the British Open with you. My husband was a golf pro, and when he retired, the Cotton Club gave him a trip to the British Open. Gave us both.
Yes.
British Open. And that was a very exciting time for us.
Well, especially when you're both golfers and your family, I guess, as well.
Yeah, and all the best golfers in the world were there.
Well, that's it.
Of course, they didn't ask me to play.
No, that was a big mistake, wasn't it?
How long were you there? I mean, how long did you go for? Like a week or 2 weeks? Or
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh, that's
Oh, yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Makes it.
Because we visited with relatives.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Yes. Oh, that's great.
That was very
After the,
Yes, that's very nice. So you're still interested in golfing and
oh
yes,
yes. But it says here that my knees are not what they used to be.
Oh, there you go.
And so.
Are you
my
talking
golf
with the
isn't what it
wheeze
used-
too?
My golf isn't what it used to be, and I blame the knees.
I see. But I still think we're in good enough shape, we could go to that Kentucky Derby.
Oh, yes.
Oh, and they serve all the mint juleps there. That's their favorite drink.
So I don't know what a mint julep is. but-
Well, it's whiskey
Oh,
and mint
I see.
in it. Oh, very good.
And a julep.
Yeah.
As long as the mint kills the liquor.
That
That's
might kill you.
Okay, there's a question being asked of us this afternoon. What would you do if you won the Lotto Max lottery on Friday evening? What would you do if you won first prize, millions, I don't know how many millions.
50 million.
50 million?
Yeah, it's 50.
Oh, come on, you have to think of something better to do than that.
Well, I don't know.
Well, first of all, we could go to the Kentucky Derby.
We go to
Yes.
the Kentucky Derby.
And we could bet on that, on the Queen's horse to celebrate her Jubilee.
And you have to pay all our way.
Oh, I don't think her horse is in the race though.
Oh, I
It's
see.
just at one of the barns there.
Oh, I see.
Mhm.
I think I would,
I'd help the poor.
I'm with you on that.
yes, the poor and my,
Exactly.
probably our families, if one of us wanted, we'd help our
Exactly.
families.
Yep.
Perhaps if you were well enough to go on a little trip, it might be kind of nice. What would you do, Irene?
I don't know, I was just thinking about that, and I think I'd give, church, are you listening? I think I'd give a little bit to the church,
Yes,
and spread it around my children,
yes.
maybe take them all a trip.
Well, no, but you know, when you read in the paper about different families who do win the money, they seem to share it with their families.
Yes,
With the family.
Yes.
and then give it to charity,
Yes.
because there's so many good
That's right,
charities
that's
that,
right.
that they, you know, need, and so many places that need help with the children.
Well, good luck, ladies, then, on Friday evening. Guess we'll sit up and watch the draw, make sure that we win. And we can get together after and have a little cheer. So,
Can we?
yes, we can. So, I think that brings us to the end of our river view for the afternoon. So, thank you very much for sharing your thoughts and ideas, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.